Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Decker here with another read aloud for you today. And today we are going to be reading about the sun, which is pretty awesome. You can probably tell just from the title and the picture that this is a nonfiction book. Okay. And on the back cover, it says the sun. What is the name for the sun and the planets around it? Read this book to find out about the sun in our solar system. And our solar system is the sun and the earth and all the planets and the moon and the stars and kind of everything within our solar system. But today we're just going to focus in on the sun. So one thing that you know that good readers do before they read any book, and especially nonfiction, is they stop right before they read and they think about what they already know, what their schema is. What do you already know about the sun, or what do you think you know? You might want to pause the video and think to yourself, or maybe talk to someone at your house about the sun and what you know. Okay, now that you've had a chance to do that, let's look inside the book at the table of contents. You know, this kind of gives us an idea of what's going to be in the book. The first part is called The Sun, which makes sense. What is the sun like? The solar system, the moon, and then there's some sections, can you remember? And a picture glossary, which might tell us about some tricky words, and then an index, which helps us find things in the book, okay? So you know, after readers think about their schema or what they know about books, they also take some time to think if there's anything they're wondering about the books. And you guys have done a lot of wondering and asking questions. So think to yourself, again, here you can pause the video and think to yourself or tell someone at home with you some questions that you might be wondering about the sun. What are some things you want to know more about? Okay, are you ready? You have your schema in your mind, you have your questions in your mind. You know what the book's going to be about. We know it's nonfiction, so we're going to learn some true facts about the sun in here. We are ready to read. So here we go. The sun. That's cool. The sun is in space. Space is up above the sky. What is the sun like? The sun is a star. The sun is much closer to us than other stars. That's why it looks so big, right? That makes sense. See all the other stars there? I don't know if you can see that through the screen. It's very pretty. The sun is a giant ball of gas. Now, you're going to learn this later on, but there are three states of matter: a solid, liquid, and a gas. A solid is like this table, or like this book is solid. Liquid is like water, juice, okay? And a gas is like the air, okay? There's lots of different kinds of gases. So the sun is a giant ball of gas. The sun is very hot and bright. The sun is made of layers. This means that the sun is made up of different parts that are kind of on top of each other. That's what layers are. The sun is hottest in the center. The center of the sun is hottest. The center is just another word for the middle. So see, they've labeled center right there for you. The solar system. The sun and the planets around it are called the solar system. And here they labeled the sun. And here's all the planets. There's our planet. Yay! Hi, Earth. The planets move around or orbit the sun. So if you move around something, you orbit it. The sun gives the planets heat. The sun gives the planets light. So without the sun, imagine what our life would be like. No heat, no light, and probably no people. So thanks, sun. Earth orbits the sun. Here's Earth, see the label? And here's the sun. And this picture shows how the Earth orbits or goes around the sun in a circle. Living things on Earth need the sun. The sun gives living things light. The sun gives living things heat. So I'm going to stop for just a second. Think about what you've already learned so far in this book. I know we're almost to the end, but we've really learned just some pretty basic, important stuff about the sun and why the sun is so important to us. The moon. The moon does not make its own light. Light from the sun makes the moon shine. So here's the moon, and here's the sun. And you can see the light from the sun is shining on the moon, and we just see the little part of the moon that the sun is shining its light on. Can you remember, why do living things need the sun? That's a great question. So pause the video for a minute, and I want you to answer that question from what you've learned, using what you've learned in the book. Why do living things need the sun? There's two things we get from the sun. Pause the video and either write it down or think it to yourself or tell someone at home. Okay, you're back. So what are the two things that living things need from the sun? We need heat and we need light. Awesome job, boys and girls. That's very important. It seems pretty basic and simple, but really it helps us survive. We wouldn't be able to survive without it. So again, thanks, sun. And here's our picture glossary. Here it talks about gas, the word layer, orbit, solar system. I'm going to just hold this up to you, and if you want to take a second to look at those, you can. You can pause the video and take a look. There we go. All right, so that was the sun. And there's lots of things in space we could study. We could study the planets and comets and meteors and asteroids and other stars and just so many things. So I hope you enjoyed learning about the sun, and I hope this might inspire you to go and learn about some other things that are in space. Okay? All right, guys, happy reading. I hope you learn a lot more about space and the sun today.